5. Continents and oceans of the world. Let's learn about continents on Earth. The world's 5 great oceans. What is an ocean? Ocean is the large mass of salt water that covers most of the Earth's surface. It is believed in past all continents were joined to each other and this land area was called Pangaea. Gradually, this area started to break up and got divided into large 7 parts. These 7 parts are called continents. There are 7 continents in the world. They are Australia, Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, and Antarctica. Oceans are the vast body of salt water that covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface. A sea is generally smaller than an ocean. An ocean contains 97% of the Earth's water. There are 5 great oceans in the world. They are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Southern Ocean, Antarctic Ocean. Each ocean has its own identity and features. Continents of the world. Asia is the largest and most populous continent in the world. It covers 8.8% of the Earth's total surface area. It is situated in the eastern and northern hemisphere. Asia contains the world's most populous country, China, and the world's largest country, Russia. It is also the home to some of the richest and the most developed economies in the world, like Japan and Korea. This continent has the highest peak on Earth in the form of Mount Everest in the Himalayas. Asia is the only continent that shares borders with 2 other continents, Africa and Europe. It sometimes joins with a 3rd continent, North America, in the winter by ice forming in the Bering Sea. It has extremely diverse climates and geographic features. Asian climate is hugely influenced by the winds called monsoons, which flow regularly in the same direction during certain seasons. It flows from the north to east during winter, which causes cold and dry weather. During summer, the wind flows from the seas in the south to the southeast. Do you know? Asia is divided into the following geographical regions: Central Asia, Iranian Plateau, East Asia, Far East, North Asia, South Asia, Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia. Africa. Africa is the world's 2nd largest continent, covering about 30 million square kilometers. It has the 2nd largest population in the world, at about 1 billion people. Africa is bordered by the Red Sea and the Suez Canal to the northeast, Mediterranean Sea to the north, the Atlantic Ocean to the west, and the Indian Ocean to the southeast. African continent has also the world's oldest populated area. There are 54 countries and one non-self-governing territory, the Western Sahara in Africa. The world's largest desert, Sahara, is located in Africa. The continent is also the world's second driest continent after Australia. The climate of Africa is dominated by warm and hot weather conditions. The equator runs through the middle of the continent. The temperatures remain on the higher side throughout the year. The cooler regions of the continent can be described as the northwestern part, the highland areas of the east, and some parts of the south. Though the forests of the Congo Basin as well as the coastal regions in the western part of the continent experience rainfall throughout the year. The rest of the continent experiences one or two seasons of heavy rainfall separated by dry spells. Often described by the outsiders as the dark continent or the cradle of mankind, Africa is immensely rich in minerals and natural resources. It is also the continent that boasts of rich variety of wildlife and biological resources, the preservation of which continues to be a challenge for conservationists from across the world. River Nile, which is the longest river in the world, is also in Africa. North America. North America is the third largest continent after Asia and Africa, and the fourth in population after Asia, Africa, and Europe. It is bordered to the north by the Arctic Ocean, to the east by the Atlantic Ocean, to the west and south by the Pacific Ocean, and to the southeast by South America and the Caribbean Sea. North America is also known as New World. 24 countries make up the continent of North America. About 502 million people live in North America. It was named after the explorer Amerigo Vespucci. Lake Superior in North America is the largest freshwater lake in the world. It is located on the border between the United States and Canada. The Mississippi, the third longest river in the world, is in North America. Mount McKinley in Alaska is the tallest point of the continent. Death Valley in California is the lowest point in North America. North America is the only continent in this world that has every kind of climate, starting from dry to bitter cold of the Arctic to the steamy heat of the tropics. The interior of Greenland remains covered by the ice, and the temperature hardly rises above freezing. The treeless plain of the far north, the North American tundra, only sees temperature rising above freezing during the summer only for a short duration. The rest of the continent remains cold during the winter and warm in the summer. Some parts of the continent may have wild winters and long hot summers. Other parts have short summers and harsh winters. Do you know? Niagara Falls of North America is one of the most popular waterfalls in the world. South America. South America is the world's fourth largest continent. It is surrounded by Atlantic Ocean on the east and north, the Caribbean Sea, and North America on the northwest and Pacific Ocean on the west. With an area of 17,840,000 square kilometers, South America continues almost 3.5% of the Earth's surface, often referred to as Latin America. South America has the greatest north-south extension. The high mountains and the highland areas extend up to different elevation levels, which together contribute to its diverse climate. Amazon River in this continent is the second largest river in the world. The Amazon rainforests of this continent are the largest and densest of forests in the world. Most parts of South America experience warm weather throughout the year. However, the climate of the continent varies a lot from place to place. The wide variety of climates in South America ranges from dry desert conditions in the northern part of Chile to the heavy rain area in the southwestern coast of the continent. The tropical rainforest of the Amazon basin experiences steamy heat. On the other hand, cold air dominates the snow-capped Andean peaks. Antarctica. Antarctica is the driest continent in the world. It is also the fifth largest continent in the world. Antarctica is located in the Antarctic region of the southern hemisphere, underlying the South Pole. It is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. It is also the coldest and windiest continent on the Earth. Antarctica is the only continent in the world where no permanent human residents can be found. Only cold-adapted flora and fauna can survive there. Penguins, seals, tundra vegetation, and several types of algae can be found here. Do you know? Almost 98% of the Antarctica continent is covered by ice with an average thickness of at least 1.6 kilometers. Europe. Europe is the second smallest continent in the world in terms of surface area. It is surrounded by the Black Sea and the connected waterways to the southeast, the Arctic Ocean, and various other water bodies to the north, Atlantic Ocean to the west, and Mediterranean Sea to the south. Europe is separated from Asia in the east by Ural River, Caspian Sea, and Caucasus Mountains, beside the Black Sea to the southeast. Danube is the second largest river in Europe that flows through 12 countries. Europe has come to represent a unique civilization and ethical values which had a tremendous influence on the rest of the world at different epochs of history. It is also home to some of the most panoramic landscapes in the world. Most of the Europe sees mild weather caused by the winds from the Atlantic Ocean. The northern part of Europe sees long and colder winter and short and cooler summers than the other parts of the continent. The eastern part sees longer and colder winters and shorter and hotter summers than the west. Australia. Australia is the world's smallest continent. The continent of Australia, along with New Zealand, constitutes a region called Oceania or Australasia. According to one theory, Australia only includes the Australian mainland, not the nearby islands like New Guinea or Tasmania. However, another theory says those islands have to be included in the continent as they share the same geological landmass. Being located in the tropics, the northern part of Australia experiences a warm and hot climate throughout the year. The rest is located in the south of the tropic and hence experience mild or cool winters and warm summers. Do you know? New Zealand is not considered as a part of the continent of Australia. It is rather a part of Zealandia, a submerged continent. The world's five great oceans. Oceans are the vast bodies of water that play an integral role in many systems of the earth. Oceans support life of nearly half of all species on earth, providing 20% of the animal protein and 5% of the total protein in the human diet. There are five great oceans on the earth, yet there are no physical divisions separating them as the water flowing through them is the same. Five major oceans of the earth are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, and the Southern Antarctic Ocean. Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean in the world. It flows to the west of the America and along the eastern edge of Asia. The ocean is sometimes divided into the North Pacific and the South Pacific Ocean. Atlantic Ocean is located between the America, Europe and Africa, and like the Pacific, it is also sometimes divided into the North and South Atlantic. Indian Ocean is located below the Indian subcontinent to the east of Africa and west of Australia and islands like Malaysia and Indonesia. Arctic Ocean is around the North Pole and is the shallowest ocean of all, sometimes considered a sea rather than an ocean. The Arctic is encompassed primarily by North America and Russia, and its water is partially covered with ice year-round. The International Hydrographic Organization designated the water surrounding Antarctica to be the Southern Ocean in the year 2000, extending to the latitude of 60 degrees. The oceans of Earth serve many functions, playing an integral role in the Earth's weather and temperature. Oceans moderate the Earth's temperature by absorbing incoming solar radiation. The continuously moving ocean currents distribute the heat energy around the globe, heating the land and area during winter and cooling it during summer. Do you know? Arctic Ocean is the smallest ocean, which is about 10 times smaller than the Pacific Ocean. Words to remember. Coastal region. The line or zone where the land meets the sea or some other large expansion of water. Submerged. Caused to be underwater. Brush up. There are five great oceans in the world. These are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Antarctic Ocean. Asia is the largest and most populous continent in the world. Amazon River is the second largest river in the world. Brush up. There are five great oceans in the world. Life skills. Antarctica is the most coldest and windiest continent on the earth. Only some animals like penguins and seals can live there. How will a human being survive there if he has reached there by chance?